Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace, blessings, and mercy of Allah the Almighty be on all of you. Welcome to yet another episode of many, many minutes with Farhat today, because I'm not going to be finishing in 5 minutes for sure. And the reason why I've actually wanted to do this was to have a good look at the Super 8 stage matches, because we know that Afghanistan luckily have qualified to the semi-final for the first time ever in the history of the Afghanistan cricket. Afghanistan national team has qualified to the semi-final. But let's look at the matches of the Super 8. We know that when Super 8 started, four teams got into one and four teams got into another group. So it was a competition between a total of eight teams, from which only four could have moved to the next round. So this actually started with the game between the game between South Africa and the United States of America. And I think that was actually one of the really good fight from the US team in this Super 8 phase. US should be very proud of themselves, the fact that they left Pakistan behind, and from their group they came out and joined the Super 8. In that match, that was first played, it was the 41st match. South Africa scored 194. Klaasen batted brilliantly there, and USA fell short by only 18 runs. It was really shown a great intent and a wonderful discipline from the US at the end, falling just short by 18 runs. In the second match between West Indies and England, that was a very good match. West Indies scored 180 there, and it was on one of the batting-friendly tracks at the Gross Islet, and England chased it down in 17.3 overs. You cannot give chances to a batter like Phil Salt, and Akir Hussain created that one chance. It was on the back of it was the bottom edge from the bat, and Nicholas Pooran, the wicketkeeper, was not able to hold on to it, and as a result, giving Phil Salt a chance meant losing to England. And then that one over from Phil Salt really changed the complexion of the game. He smashed, I don't know how many did he get. I believe he got more than 28 runs in that over, where he smashed fours and sixes in that one over. I think it was Romario Shepherd who was targeted. I think if we look at specifically that over, it was over number from the England innings. When you look at that, it was 30 runs scored in that over. It was over number it was over number 15, I think. 16, 17. 16th over. Yeah, it was 16th over where a lot of runs were scored and 30 runs in one over. I'll tell you everything about Phil Salt. He's a serious contender. He's a wonderful player. All right, the next match was actually between India and Afghanistan. Unfortunately, Afghanistan lost that. India won it by 47 runs. That was a big loss. I mean, we should have actually, Afghanistan started very nicely. 181 on the board from India was a lot of runs. But then again, Afghanistan maybe could have started with more caution. But Rahmanullah Gurbaz threw caution to the wind and tried to go after Jasprit Bumrah, and I think Jasprit Bumrah had very well assessed the conditions that the slower balls were doing the trick. And the very first ball that he bowled to Rahmanullah Gurbaz, that was wide line and slower ball, and Rahmanullah Gurbaz went for that, and a simple catch into the hands of Rishabh Pant, who's not going to be dropping many because he's taken some really wonderful catches in this tournament. So Afghanistan fell short by 47 runs, where the net run rate issue started coming into play because Afghanistan had lost by a big margin of 47 runs. And then in the match between Bangladesh and Australia, Australia nailed it and won it by 28 runs. And in that match, Travis Head and David Warner, I mean, they have been phenomenal, and they only lost 2 wickets chasing down the target. And there was some rain interruptions, but at the end of the day, by a margin of 28 runs, winning means that Australia had a very strong net run rate against Bangladesh and Afghanistan. And then in the other group, when you see South Africa and England, I think that was really a good game. Ida Markram has been proving to be one really wonderful captain for South Africa. And they've been winning close matches. I mean, this is very uncharacteristic of South Africa in the ICC events. And this time around, they've been doing it nice. 25 runs were needed, only 18 balls were left. And the England batters were really in the attacking mood. And then that catch from Aiden Markram running behind and holding on to really changed the game. And they won it by 7 runs. It was a close game. Then USA and West Indies. West Indies needed to give some boost to their net run rate, and they went after USA. Shai Hope, who you would think is a more of an ODI batter, came out to open, and he smashed and smoked some wonderful shots and scored a brilliant 80 plus run and chased down the target of 129 in only 10.5 overs. That gave him a very strong net run rate boost, so much so that their match between South Africa and West Indies became a kind of a knockout. So anyone who would have won could have moved on to the next phase. And I say this because before that, then there was a game between USA and England, and USA actually smashed. USA was smashed by England. USA first scored only 115, and then at one point they were at 115, and then they were still remaining at 115. And Chris Jordan got that hat trick, and England chased it down in only 9.4 overs, and 5 sixes in 1 over from Josh Butler will tell you everything about his form. And that's where they got the net run rate boost and they qualified to the semi-final. Then the competition remained between West Indies and South Africa. And that match between West Indies and South Africa won by only 3 wickets, but that was never going to be an easy match. It was really a nail-biting game. South Africa would be very happy to have crossed the line, but I will give credit to Aidan Markram again because the way he came in bowled and his 4 overs were really crucial. He bowled his complete quota, and he really took, he really surprised the West Indies side because maybe they were not expecting a complete 4 overs from Aidan Markram, but it was a master stroke, and the way he fielded absolutely throughout this tournament has been amazing. His leadership has been wonderful, and that's where West Indies had to say goodbye to the T20 World Cup, and South Africa went and qualified to the semi-final. But before that, we go back to India versus Bangladesh. India and Bangladesh met, and India scored 196. And for India, Surya Kumar Yadav has been scoring runs. Hardik Pandya has been scoring runs, and Jasprit Bumrah has been very economical and miserly. Kuldeep Yadav has been taking wickets, but Bangladesh falling short by 50 runs meant that their net run rate was really, really damaged badly. And Afghanistan versus Australia opened the group because Australia maybe were thinking that they could just beat Afghanistan and go through, but no, Afghanistan had other plans on a very different track, which was very much tricky. There was a lot of bounce. It was like a tennis ball bounce, and it was a lot of turn and drift. Afghanistan scored only 148, and on the back of a brilliant 100-run partnership again between Rahmanullah Gurbaz and Ibrahim Zadran. I mean, you see at 148 and you say, oh, okay, maybe there hasn't been any strong partnerships, but 118-run partnership was put for the first wicket. That was a record which has not previously been done in the T20 World Cup, where openers have put together 100 partnership in as many as only 6 innings. It's absolutely phenomenal. But then Afghanistan started losing the way and lost wicket, thanks to that 1 over from Hazelwood, over number 19, where Muhammad Nabi and Karim Jannat took 15 runs off it, where the total came to 148. Otherwise, Pat Cummins had really put brakes on the run flow, and he took a hat-trick. This was the second hat-trick that he took in this T24 tournament after a hat-trick against Bangladesh as well. So Afghanistan winning it by 21 runs gave Afghanistan a very good chance to qualify to the semi-final. Alhamdulillah, Afghanistan have qualified to the semi-final. But this also opened a chance for the Bangladesh. So when we saw the last 2 matches of the Super 8, India versus Australia, Australia lost and India won it by 24 runs, meant that for Australia to have qualified to the semi-final was only possible if Afghanistan had lost to Bangladesh. And for Bangladesh to have qualified to the semi-final was for them to have chased down the target in as many as 13 overs. Well, they did their homework right. They pitched the ball into the right areas. They didn't allow the Afghanistan batters to score freely, although there was once again another 50-run partnership between the openers, Rahmanullah Gurbaz and Ibrahim Zadran. Bangladesh were overall very good at the field. A couple of chances were dropped, but even then they were very, very disciplined. In 115, they would fancy their chances that they could chase down in 13 overs, could have been taken. But it was not to be. Afghanistan really came back strong, started taking wicket. Fazl Farooqi gave the first breakthrough, and then Naveenul Haq with 2 back-to-back wickets, and then Rashid Khan in the middle over, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th batters were all out by Rashid Khan, and then Naveenul Haq finishing the tail. Bangladesh fell short by 8 runs, and that is how Afghanistan made it to the semi-final. I mean, you can talk about the 2 games of Afghanistan, the one with Australia. It was absolutely outstanding. we really didn't give away anything. And I think Gulbadin Naib was a master stroke there, bringing in Gulbadin Naib, who bowled those 4 overs, took 4 wickets for 20 runs only. And then in our match against Bangladesh, Rashid Khan and Naveen ul Haq took 4 for each and didn't let Bangladesh to win. And with that, Afghanistan have qualified to the semi-final. Afghanistan will be playing against South Africa in the semi-final, while India will be playing against England in the semi-final. So we'll bring you further updates. Thank you very much. That was it from me. Stay tuned. This was just a quick overview and a look at the games. Absolutely fantastic game of cricket by Afghanistan. And let's hope that Afghanistan will win another 2 matches and will bring the T20 World Cup trophy home. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.